Today we are going over the unbelievable top 5 Amber Alert stories. Sit back, grab a snack and hit the subscribe button. Roll the intro. Five. The disappearance of Elizabeth Smart 2002. In June 2002, Elizabeth Smart was abducted at the age of 14 from her bedroom in Salt Lake City, Utah. Her story became one of the most publicized child abduction cases in the United States. Elizabeth had been taken at knife point by Brian David Mitchell, a handyman who had previously worked for the Smart family. The circumstances of her abduction were particularly alarming, as her kidnapper had intruded into her home under the cover of darkness. For months, Elizabeth's family campaigned for her safe return, while law enforcement conducted extensive searches. Thousands of tips flooded in from the public, but Elizabeth remained missing, and her family endured an agonizing wait. The abduction sparked national outrage and led to the activation of the Amber Alert system, which was relatively new at the time. News outlets broadcast her face extensively, and Find Elizabeth Smart banners were everywhere. In March 2003, a breakthrough occurred. Elizabeth was recognized by a couple while walking with her captor, leading to her rescue. Authorities were able to arrest Mitchell and his wife Wanda Barzee. Elizabeth's return was met with overwhelming relief and joy, but it marked the beginning of a long recovery process for her and her family as they dealt with the trauma of her captivity. Elizabeth Smart's case highlighted the importance of community involvement in runaway and abduction situations. The extensive media coverage paired with the public's diligence helped lead to her safe recovery. Following the incident, Elizabeth has become an advocate for missing children and victims of abduction, sharing her story and working to raise awareness about child safety. The abduction also had a lasting impact on legislation surrounding child abductions. It prompted discussions on strengthening Amber Alert laws and raised awareness about the necessity of swift action in abduction cases. Elizabeth's case remains a prominent example of how community response and media outreach can lead to positive outcomes in abduction scenarios. Today, Elizabeth is a motivational speaker and author, using her platform to advocate for victims and educate parents and communities on child safety. Her experience has transformed her into a symbol of resilience, illustrating that recovery is possible even after the most harrowing experiences. 4. The Case of JC Dugard, 1991. In 1991, 11-year-old Jaycee Dugard was abducted while walking to a school bus stop in South Lake Tahoe, California. Captured by Philip and Nancy Garrido, Jaycee's abduction was not immediately communicated to the public in a way that would activate an Amber Alert. But the case remains one of the most striking examples of long-term abduction. For 18 years she was held captive in the Garridos' backyard, enduring severe psychological and physical hardships. Jaycee's story came to light in August 2009 when she was spotted by authorities during a probation check on Philip Garrido. The details surrounding her captivity were shocking. She had given birth to 2 daughters while in captivity, and her conditions were precarious. The recovery process was immediate and complex, with investigators working tirelessly to reunite Jaycee with her family, who had long given up hope after her disappearance. Following her rescue, Jaycee faced the monumental challenge of reintegrating into society. The media coverage was extensive, with her experience highlighting failings in the systems designed to protect children. The story also drew attention to the importance of mental health support for abducted individuals, with Jaycee herself emphasizing the need for compassionate care. Jaycee eventually published her memoir, A Stolen Life, in which she detailed her experience and the profound impact it had on her life. Her story became a testament to resilience and the human spirit's ability to survive even in unbearable circumstances. It also sparked discussions around the effectiveness of law enforcement and the training necessary to handle such long-term abduction cases. After her abduction and rescue, Jaycee became an advocate for the missing and their families, emphasizing the importance of awareness and education in preventing such situations. Her foundation, the Jaycee Dugard Foundation, works to assist families in need and connect them with resources for recovery and support. Jaycee's case also led to changes in the ways law enforcement handles abduction cases, with a greater focus on long-term missing persons and providing families with resources to assist in their loved ones' recovery. Her story remains a sobering reminder of the importance of vigilance and community involvement in child safety. 3. The abduction of Amber Hagerman, 1996. In January 1996, 9-year-old Amber Hagerman was abducted while riding her bike in Arlington, Texas. Her abduction and subsequent murder became the catalyst for the Amber Alert system, which was established to help in the search for abducted children. After Amber was reported missing, an extensive search was initiated, with the community joining forces to find her. Sadly, her body was discovered days later in a nearby creek, leading to widespread outrage throughout Texas and beyond. Amber's case received extensive media coverage, which disclosed critical information about the high incidence of child abductions. The community was galvanized not just by the tragedy, but also by the urgent need for a mechanism to quickly disseminate information about missing children. As a result, a new system was proposed, which would allow law enforcement to send out alerts to the public almost immediately after a child went missing. The implementation of the Amber Alert system aimed to quicken the response times when a child was reported missing or abducted. It allowed for prompt notifications via radio and television broadcasts, and later integrated through digital platforms and mobile phones. The system's name paid homage to Amber Hagerman, emphasizing the importance of community involvement in searching for and recovering missing children. As Amber's story spread, so did the awareness of child safety issues. Her parents became strong advocates for child safety initiatives, sharing their daughter's story in hopes of preventing future tragedies. They worked closely with law enforcement and legislators to improve child protection systems and enhance community education about abductions. The Amber Alert system has evolved significantly since its inception, with various states adopting their protocols and expanding the reach of alerts through social media and other channels. It has played a crucial role in the recovery of numerous abducted children, leading to safer communities. Today, Amber Hagerman's legacy lives on as a powerful reminder of the ongoing need for vigilance, as well as the importance of legislation and community efforts in protecting children. By sharing her story and pushing for systemic changes, her family has helped ensure that her name and the lessons learned from her tragic fate will not be forgotten. 2. The disappearance of Hailey Dunn, 2010. In December 2010, 13-year-old Hailey Dunn went missing from her home in Colorado City, Texas. Her case quickly garnered local media attention but did not receive the national spotlight until her mother began speaking out about Hailey's disappearance. The early investigation faced challenges due to a lack of witnesses and clues, but local authorities issued an Amber Alert soon after she was reported missing. As the search for Hailey intensified, volunteers from the community came together to help in the effort. Flyers were distributed, and search parties combed through the surrounding area. Despite extensive searches and deep investigations by law enforcement, Hailey's whereabouts remained a mystery, which left her family and the community grappling with despair and an urgent desire for answers. As time passed, the investigation shifted focus, and suspicion grew around individuals close to Hailey. The shift in focus led to media scrutiny and public speculation about the nature of her disappearance. Ultimately, the case moved into a phase of prolonged uncertainty and heartbreak, as investigators worked tirelessly to gather evidence and trace leads. The disappearance of Hailey Dunn eventually turned cold, but her family's determination to keep her story alive pushed them to advocate for changes in how similar cases are handled. Hailey's mother, along with community organizations, worked to raise awareness around issues of youth safety and the importance of immediate responses in abduction cases. Hailey's story played a significant role in highlighting the need for education around missing children and the pressures families face during such harrowing circumstances. While most Amber Alerts are focused on recoveries, Hailey's case serves as a reminder of the countless families searching for answers, showing the emotional toll and complexity involved in long-term missing persons situations. Unfortunately, Hailey's case remains unsolved, but her legacy continues to motivate advocacy for missing children rights and prevention measures. Families and communities are reminded through her story of the resilience required to endure uncertainty while keeping hope alive for those who are still missing. 1. The rescue of Ariel Smith, 2020. In early 2020, 12-year-old Ariel Smith was abducted in San Antonio, Texas, by a man who was known to her family. This case captured local attention as she was taken during broad daylight. The community quickly mobilized, and law enforcement issued an Amber Alert, utilizing all available media channels to spread the word and keep Ariel's face in the public eye. Within hours of the alert, local residents began to flood social media with shares of Ariel's information, urging friends and family to keep an eye out. The sense of urgency was palpable, and as the hours turned into a day, there was palpable anxiety about her safety. Community members felt a collective responsibility to search for Ariel, demonstrating the power of community in response to abductions. Thanks to the thorough investigation and community engagement, authorities received a credible tip that led them to a location where Ariel was believed to be held. Swift action by law enforcement resulted in her being found safe and reunited with her family. The overall satisfaction of the successful recovery underscored the importance of quick responses through the Amber Alert system, and the involvement of local citizens in search efforts. In the days following her recovery, Ariel's family and law enforcement officials spoke of the emotional rollercoaster they endured. They emphasized how pivotal the Amber Alert had been in raising awareness and getting the public engaged in the search. The swift response and cooperation between the community and law enforcement were key factors that ultimately led to her recovery. Ariel's case became a symbol of hope and served as a reminder that quick action can lead to successful outcomes in abduction situations. This incident reinforced the significance of the Amber Alert system and the importance of vigilance in communities regarding the safety of children. Following the incident, advocates and law enforcement officials worked together to promote education around child safety and to ensure that cases like Ariel's would prompt immediate responses. Ariel's story is now utilized as an example in community safety campaigns, highlighting how collaboration and quick communication can save lives.